Okay, good morning. Welcome. I think we might have a few more coming in as we get going here, but I want to get started. So, lots of things that we want to do today. So, please stay on task and we'll hopefully get through our agenda today. First of all, is everybody here for Math 104, Finite Math? Nobody has to do the walk of shame and find out they were in the wrong class. I did that freshman year many years ago. Okay. I'm going to go through the roster, see who you are, and hopefully learn your names as fast as I can. First of all, by way of introductions, my name is Jamie Worth. I'm the chair of the math department. I'm also the director of the Great Plains STEM Education Center, which we have here at VCSU. This is my 12th year at VCSU. And before that, I taught high school math for 4 years down in Wyndmere, North Dakota, which is down by Wahpeton, if anybody knows where that is. So this is actually my 16th year of being a teacher. But we can get to know each other a little bit more as we go on. But I'd like to put a face with the names on my roster. Before I do this now, I have this little seating chart where I like to write down names so I can look at people and I can say, oh yeah, that's you. Okay? So if you want to switch seats, I want you to do it right now. Unless you're comfortable sitting where you're at. I don't know how far back, if your eyesight is good back there. Everybody's comfortable. Okay, very good. So I'm just going to go through the roster here. Jalen Addison, are you here? No. Okay. Brooke Crabtree. Hello, Brooke. Okay, now if you go by a different name, or if I pronounce it wrong, just please let me know. Hi, morning. Let's see. Gage Gellner. Hello, Gage. Okay. Landon Haynes. Going once, going twice. Hannah. How do you say your last name? Kilfoyle. Hannah. Okay. Callista. Thank you. Callista. All right. Dalton.
Don't even child's last name.
I know your dad, Dalton.
Oh, there we go.
You're off to a bad start already.
There we go.
Yeah. Ryan. All right. Ryan. Anthony Russell. Anthony or Tony? Anthony? Okay. And Aaron. No Aaron? Tyler Smith? Tyler, Anthony. Just getting my seating chart correct here. Okay. Lexi. Hello, Lexi. Matthew. Suda? Matt or Matthew? Either one? All right. That sounds like a Grafton name. Are you from Grafton?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. And William? Will? All right. And you are? Jalen. Okay, very good. I got you on here. I said your name right before you walked in. That's why I missed you. Okay, welcome, Jalen. Okay, did I miss anybody? Okay, very good. Here's what I'd like to do. Lots of things today. First of all, did everybody find the Blackboard? Everybody got your laptop with you today? I'd like you to go to the Blackboard homepage. I have a whole laundry list of things that we want to do. One of the first things that you're going to notice here is that I'm wearing a microphone, and I have this little swivel. See how it's following me around as I walk around? That's because I'm recording class, okay? And I'm going to do that every single day. Now, the reason I do that is twofold. One, if for some reason you need to miss class, or you're gone for something, or you're sick, or whatever, within about 2 hours of class being over, this video will be available. So you can just pull up the class video and you can watch it, okay? 2, what I like to do, potentially next semester or maybe this summer, I will offer this class online. And what I like to do for my online students is I like to give them the feel that they actually were able to sit in class, even though they're not physically in class. So today is August 28th. Somebody in June might be taking this class online if we offer it online. And I want to be able to give them access to, here's a video of day 1 of class, day 2 of class, day 3 of class, okay? Now, in order for me to do that, I actually need your help with something. There's a thing called FERPA. Anybody know what it stands for? Federal Education Rights and Privacy Act, okay? What that means is it's actually against the law for me to walk out in the hall right now and say, hey, Dalton Ondrasik is in my Math 104 class because I just violated your rights. I violated your privacy by doing that, okay? You probably don't care, maybe, maybe not, but it's actually against the law. So here's what I'm hoping that all of you are willing to do. I hope that you're willing to release your FERPA enrollment in this class, because what might happen is if I do decide to use this video for an online class, one of the videos someday might capture Dalton's voice. And somebody watching in June says, that sounds like Dalton Ondrasik. He must have been in that class. See where I'm going? Or I might walk around and I might go over here and I might, oh, look, Ryan got on video. Or, Will got on video. And somebody say, oh, Will was in that class? See where I'm going with that? So here's what I hope that we can do, is I'm hoping you would all be willing to be okay with that. That your voice or your face might be on a video, not that I'm putting it out for everybody to view, but for somebody who might take this class online in one of the next semesters. So that's what this first item here is for. See that FERPA enrollment waiver form? What I'd like you to do is fill that out. And basically it's really fast. Either you agree, like, yes, it's okay if I get captured on video or my voice gets captured on video, or you can not agree. I can't force you to agree to this. I sure hope everybody clicks agree, but if you click not agree, you have the right to do that, okay? So you need to click one of those, please, right now, and then just type in your name and type in the date and click submit. I'll give you all of about 10 seconds to think about it.
That's the 28th.
It's August 28th today. Yep. Did it work for everybody?
I did it. Do I need to do another one?
Did-
I thought it was my birthday.
Oh, don't worry about that.
I put my birthday in there.
Nah, don't worry about it. Yeah. We'll just pretend you filled out this form 19 years ago. That's okay. Any questions on that? Did anybody have any issues? Did it lock up on anybody, or were we all able to successfully do it? I'll go in later and check to see if all of you actually completed it or not. Okay, check that off my list. Okay, let's go back to Blackboard. I want to just go through a few things on here. Let's click on syllabus and schedule. And we'll walk through the syllabus really quick. You can open it up and follow along on your screen, or you can just watch on the screen up here. I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, but you guys can see my contact information there. We're going to talk about the textbook in a little bit. I hope nobody went out and bought a textbook. Everything's free in this course, so you don't have to buy anything. You're welcome. Office hours. I don't have specific office hours where I'm guaranteed to be in my office because I wear about 12 hats on this campus between committees and administrative type stuff. So if you need to meet with me, the best way to do that is to email me or just talk to me after class and say, hey, can I set up an appointment? Okay, and we'll set up an appointment for that. Course description you can read on your own. The objectives you can read on your own. We're going to download this software in a little bit together. Course schedule, I'm going to show you where that is, even though the link was broken as of a couple minutes ago. Course evaluation, I want to talk a little bit about this. Basically, how you're going to get evaluated in this class is going to come from, if you scroll down to the grid, we're going to have a bunch of quizzes that you're going to be able to take on Blackboard. We're going to have projects, specifically, I believe, 5 specific projects that we're going to do in here. And then we're going to take 3 regular tests, and we're going to take 1 final test. And that's going to encompass your total grade, and you can see about how that breaks down. So the tests are worth roughly half of your grade, the quizzes roughly a quarter, and the projects were roughly another quarter. Okay? So with the quizzes, and I'll show you where we're going to do these, and we'll practice one today. When you open up one of those quizzes, you actually have an opportunity to get 100% on every single quiz if you are willing to keep trying and keep doing it over. So you're going to open up a quiz, and there's going to be a question, and if you get it wrong, you get to try it again. And if you get it wrong a second time, it's just going to show you the answer, and then you can regenerate a new question, and then do it again, and do it again, up to like 100 times, I think is what I set it for. So if you are a hard worker and you really want to practice and get better, those quizzes, you should be able to get 100% on all of them, okay? If you just go through and you get 6 out of 10 or whatever it is and you're happy with that, so be it. But that's going to be your grade, okay? Now, when it comes time to the tests, those are going to be, you'll come through, you can do an item. If you get it wrong, you get a second crack at it for half credit, and if you get it wrong again, it's over. Okay, no redoing it over and over. And we'll do the test right in class here. Whereas, the quizzes, you can start them, work on them one day, come back the next day, come back the next day, work on them a week later, go back a section, go forward a section. Those are just going to be open throughout the duration of the chapters that we're covering. But the rule is going to be that the day that we sit down and take the test for those chapters, that's it. No more working on those quizzes anymore. So I think our first test is scheduled for October 4th. So that means Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 quizzes, you can work on them as much as you want between now and October 4th. But come October 4th at 10 a.m., you're done. The grade that you have is finished. Any questions on that? Okay, I'll show you where that is in a little bit. I'm going to go back to Blackboard. Right here is a link called Course Schedule, and when I clicked on it earlier, it did not work. Is anybody getting it to pull up anything, or is it just spinning like mine?
This course schedule?
Yeah.
Mine pulled up.
Did it pull up an Excel spreadsheet?
Yep.
Oh, hey, it's finally working. Microsoft Office 365 can be a little bit slow at times, especially, I suppose, when there's a lot of traffic on campus right now using it. So what this is just a copy of a spreadsheet that I have on my computer. And I've given you a link so that you can view it live. So if tonight at midnight I make a change and you go on at 12:01 a.m. in the morning, you will see that change in real time by clicking on that link. Does that make sense? So I'm going to update this as we go, okay? Just FYI, I've never taught this course before. This is the first time I've taught Math 104 ever. Now, have I taught all the content that is in this course? Yes. Okay, for multiple high school and college courses, the Math 104 is kind of a smorgasbord of random stuff, and you're going to figure that out. But I don't have everything absolutely planned out, every single assignment, every single project and activity, whereas courses I've taught over and over and over again, I have this thing all fleshed out right to the point. So I'm going to be filling this in as we go, okay? I'm ready for today, and I will be ready for Friday. Probably about Friday morning at 9 o'clock, okay? So you can see at all times what our schedule is going to look like. The off days are in red. You guys already knew that I'm giving you Monday off for Labor Day. You know that you get Veterans Day off. Thanksgiving break is actually both a Wednesday and a Friday this year. Did you guys know that? It used to just be the Friday. You'd get Thanksgiving Day off and Friday. Now you get the day in front of Thanksgiving off too, which is a bonus. And then also, you guys might know that on September 27th is a Friday. That's Dr. LaFave's inauguration day, which actually happens right at the same time as this class. I'm going to be in Bismarck at a conference anyway, so there's no class on that day. Okay, so again, you can check that out. You can see the test days are in blue there, and whatever. So you can ask questions on that later if you need to. But that's where the schedule is going to be. let's look at, on the schedule, if you go all the way to the bottom, it says final test, December 19th at 1 o'clock, okay? All of your final tests for all of your courses at VCSU are specifically scheduled for a certain day and a certain time, and you must be there. It is a university policy, okay? If you look on the syllabus at the very bottom, it says final exam policy. Click here, and it'll take you to the final exam policy. And one thing, especially this year, because the semester goes really close to Christmas this year, okay? And every year, our vice president runs into a problem where somebody has a final on December 19th or December 20th, and then they say, oh, I already bought a plane ticket to go home to wherever home is for Christmas, and it's on the day of my final. Can I change my final test date? And what do you think the vice president's going to tell you? No. Change the plane ticket. Exactly. So especially this year, pay attention to your final exam schedule, not only for this class, but for all of your classes, and make sure you're not making travel arrangements and whatnot around that. It even says, it's even in the policy where it says, will not be exempted. For example, plane tickets, whatever. So just be aware of that. So that's the final exam for this. As far as attendance goes in this class, I do keep track of who's here every day and who isn't, but I don't want you to bombard my email inbox with, hey, I don't feel good this morning, I'm not coming to class, what did we do in class? That's why I go through so much work of recording the class, laying out Blackboard with every assignment, making a detailed schedule so that you can click on it, stuff like that. Come on in. What's your name?
Landon.
Landon. All right. Find a chair. Landon. So I do not want the email that says, hi, I was gone yesterday. Can you tell me what we did in class? Oh, that makes me want to pull my hair out. Okay? You're an adult. Be responsible. Figure it out. Go to Blackboard. Watch the video. Look at the schedule. Stuff like that. So if you need to be gone, you don't need to let me know. Now, if you're gone 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row, I'm flagging you on Starfish. No doubt about it. Okay? Because it's going to affect your grade. And we're going to have things in here where we're doing grades on different things almost daily. Okay? So I might reach out to you and say, hey, haven't seen you in a few days. What's going on? That kind of thing. But I'm not going to hunt you down and wonder why you weren't here on a certain day. Does that make sense? Any questions or comments on that? Okay. Let's do this. Back to Blackboard. If you go to the home page of announcements, you will see textbooks. Now, both of the textbooks that we're going to use for this are free. They're what we call OER, Open Educational Resource. The one we're going to primarily use, it says first textbook. It's just a PDF. You can click on it. You can download it now if you want. Okay? It's called Business Pre-Calculus, but it's got all the topics of what we cover in a finite math course. So go ahead and download that now or later if you want. The link will be there. If you want to actually buy a paper copy of it, like you really have to have it in your hands, there's a link there for you to purchase it. The second textbook we're going to use isn't all the way until chapter 9, the very end, the last chapter, because this book didn't have the statistics chapter that I wanted, so I had to find a second book to use just for the very last chapter, and that's right there. You can download it now or you can download it later. And again, you could buy a physical copy of that book if you wanted to, but you're not required to. Any questions on textbooks? We're not going to use the textbook a ton. We'll do examples out of the textbook and read a few things with some rules and some formulas out of the textbook, but primarily a lot of what we're going to do is just kind of like some online resources, in-class activities, some of the practice quizzes that I showed you. So I'm not like a real heavy textbook person. You can see what I use textbooks for. I use them to prop up Swivl recording devices. Okay. Geogebra software. Go ahead and click on this link right here. It says click on this link to download. should pull this up right here. You guys all have PCs in here? Does anybody have a Mac? Oh, you darn Mac people. Okay, it works better on a PC. I'm anti-Mac. You're going to figure that out throughout the course of the semester, but that's okay. What I'd like you to do is go to Geogebra Classic 5. You guys see that? Click download, and then choose, I think you got to choose if it's a Mac or a PC, and go through and agree and blah, 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 and try to get it on your computer. Let's see, where do you choose, Mac or PC?
I didn't do it.
Yeah, I didn't have to. It's just downloading.
Yeah, just download it.
It just downloaded? Yeah, I thought somewhere you had to, maybe you don't have to do that anymore. They changed the download all the time. Anyways, when you have it up and running, you can see I've got mine, that little icon tagged to my taskbar. When you have it up and running, it should open, and it's called Geogebra. Geo for geometry, and Gebra for algebra. So it's like geometry and algebra put together. Anybody ever used this before in high school or another? You've used this before? Yeah, your high school teacher maybe used it? Where'd you go to high school?
Chisago Lakes.
Oh, cool. Anybody ever use Geometer's Sketchpad? It's very similar to Geometer's Sketchpad, except it's free, which is why I use it, because Sketchpad is very expensive. This is basically a really super advanced graphing calculator, is what it is. And we're going to use it for multiple projects and different activities in class. If you have a graphing calculator or a regular calculator, that's great. You certainly don't have to go out and buy one. Like I have a TI, Texas Instrument TI-84. You should have some kind of calculator just for when you need to multiply two numbers together or take the square root of a number or something like that. So I encourage you to get some kind of calculator. If you want to use your calculator on your phone, that's fine. Okay. But I rarely use this for like graphing purposes because I got this, right? So I only use this for like adding and subtracting, multiplying and dividing. Anybody having any download issues? Mac people? Probably. What is that? Cannot be opened because it's... What happens when you click OK? Anything? I don't know what's going on there. I might have to... Yeah, do you want to see if you ran into the same problem? Did you click on this right here?
Yeah.
Okay, did it go to your downloads? What happened when you clicked here? Is it just spinning?
It's just sitting there.
Oh,
Just
okay.
sitting.
Oh, so you got the exe file. Let's see if it'll run. Open when done.
It's just taking forever to
Yeah, you might just have to do it later too. Anybody else have any problems with it? We're not going to use it today, so just give it a run later, or refresh your computer or something like that. If you run into, you got it going now?
Yep.
Thank you. Did you have an issue too? Yeah. So did you?
Because it's available in the App Store.
Yeah. Did you get it through the App Store?
I got it right off the website.
Or does the website take you to the App Store for Mac?
No.
No. I just downloaded it, and then sometimes you have to go to your Finder, and then
Yeah.
download. So you need to right click, and it will say open. And then
Okay.
it'll give you an option to open or cancel.
I'm gonna have Jalen. I'm gonna have you talk to Callista in a little bit, and she can show you how she did it too, and see if we did that the same. But I'm gonna move on for the sake of time. If we have time right at the end, we'll get that done there. Okay, so we're gonna use it on Friday in class just to tinker around, show you how to plot points, show you how to graph lines, some of the introductory stuff. Okay. Let's go to, I'm going back to Blackboard. Where am I going now? Okay, if you see, there's a link on here called Course Docs and Links, and right now it's empty. But every once in a while we're going to do an activity online, or I'm going to give you a document to look at or something like that. This is just going to be a catch-all for docs and links that I'm going to say, hey, go to this link or something like that. Right now it's empty, but I'll build that as we get going. I want you to go to tutorials, quizzes, and tests. Okay, this is where we're going to go through and do those quizzes and those tests that I was telling you about. The first one that I'm going to have you do this one probably after class today. It's called Syllabus Quiz. So basically, if you've been paying attention to class today, and if you don't know an answer, you can look it up in the syllabus. You could always go back and watch today's class video. You should be able to get, I think there's 6 questions on there. You should be able to get 6 out of 6. Let's just open it right now. Open it as though you're going to take it. If not, some of you have never taken a Blackboard quiz. This will be new to you. Notice there's 6 questions, and they're true and false. Okay. So, question number 1. According to the syllabus for this course, I must complete all section quizzes prior to the date of the chapter test for those quizzes, or I will receive 0 credit. I actually talked about that a few minutes ago, right? Let's share answers here. Is that one true or false? It's true, right? Because I said on the day of the test, that's it. No more doing it, right? So that one's true. Watch what happens when I click true. After a few seconds, it's going to save this answer, or I could click on it. There, it says saved. Okay? So what I could do if I wanted to now is I could just, exit out of here, and it saved my number 1. But when I'm all done, I'd want to click save and submit. That's when I've answered all of them, right? So you can get out of this now. You don't have to worry about finishing it, but I just wanted to show you where it was. So I'm going to move on. So you can exit out of that, and when you come back later, you can pick up where you left off, okay? And maybe you're not 100% sure on some of the answers right now. I'm only giving you one chance at that quiz, by the way. You don't get to redo that one. Okay, if you go down to below that, it says My Open Math. This is another brand new thing that I am doing this year for both this class and my pre-calculus class. I have never used My Open Math before, and I stumbled upon it in July, and I've been scrambling to get it ready for this class and my pre-calc class between the middle of July and today. All right, and it's not 100% ready, but it's close. So what is My Open Math? It's basically the homework quizzes and practice assignments and whatnot that I was talking about earlier, when you can try them over and over again. So if you scroll down, you can see I've got folders for every chapter that we're going to cover. So for example, chapter 1, linear functions. If you open that folder, section 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, and 1.7, those are the ones that we're going to cover out of the textbook. Okay, notice we're skipping section 1.1 and 1.2. We're not going to cover every section out of that textbook that I told you about. So when I click on section 1.3, you could either click here, which takes you right to the page where the textbook starts on 1.3, or you could just open your textbook on your own and do it. The video lessons, these are optional. This is if you just want a quick tutorial like, oh shoot, I can't remember how to find the average rate of change. Well, there's a handy dandy YouTube video right there where you could watch it if you wanted to. Okay? So again, if you don't ever watch any of these videos, I don't care. But just know that they're there for you to get a quick tutorial on something if you want. What you will have to do is you'll have to do the quizzes. So like the 1.3 quiz and whatnot. And I'm going to give you a practice quiz to do. So if you go back to tutorials, quizzes and tests, do you see that one called Intro to Quiz Test Answer Entry? Let's click on that one together and let's take that quiz together. So go ahead and click on it like you're going to take it. And it says, an intro assignment for entering answers electronically into your quizzes and tests. 5 points possible start assessment. Did everybody get that screen to pop up? I hope so. Like I said, this is the first time I've been running this before. Did anybody get an error? No additional session exists. Oh, crap. Mac.
Yeah.
Mac and Mac. Let's see. Why would that not work for a Mac? Everybody with a PC able to open it? I don't know the solution to that one today. I'm going to have to figure it out for those of you who have a Mac. Follow along on the screen if you can't get it to work. If you can get it to work, go ahead and click Start Assessment. Okay? So this is just, it's showing you like a practice of how you can enter your answers and how you can use a square root sign and how you can do a fraction and stuff like that. So the first question says, enter the number, mine says 40.0367. Does anybody have a different number? Yeah, so you're getting the same question, but it's different numbers. Does that make sense? So you might be sitting down with your buddy doing your homework or your quiz together, and you're going to say, oh, yours is different than mine. Yeah, they're all different. It's just cycling in different numbers, right? But it says, enter that number exactly. So I'm going to type in the number exactly. This is a really hard question. 40.0367. And I hit enter. And actually, I hit enter before I got down. Notice it gave me a green check mark, but I got this one and this one wrong because I did it. So right now I got 0.33 out of 1 point. You guys see that? So remember when I said you can try it again if you get it wrong? I actually just got it wrong because I hit enter before I... So I should have went down. And now this says round to 2 decimal places. So I'm going to round this guy to 2 decimal places. So I'm going to go 0.04. Okay. And then this one says, enter the result of that number divided by 0. Well, that does not exist, so I'm going to click DNE. So I have answered all 3 of them. I click Submit Question. And now it shows that I got 1 out of 1. So I'm good, right? If you get less than 1 out of 1, like you get it wrong twice in a row, what can you do? Try a similar question. And it'll just generate a new question for you, and then you can do it again. So what it's going to do is it's going to always just keep whatever your highest score is. So once you get 1 out of 1, it won't let you go backwards. Like if you try another one for the heck of it and you get like 0.33 out of 1, your grade's not going to go backwards. Does that make sense? You'll figure this out as you start to play with it. So notice that was question number 1. I can scroll ahead to question number 2, scroll ahead to question number 3, whatever I want. And I can always go back to a question. Notice question number 1, I got 1 out of 1. I can go back to question number 2. Go ahead and just take the quiz. I'll give you a minute to do it. See if you can finish it. See if you can get 5 out of 5. Flag me down if you have a question. Mac people, any luck? Same darn thing? Okay, so my hunch is no additional session exists. By your browser blocking third-party cookies. Okay, do you guys know how to adjust browser settings? So what are you in, Safari?
Yeah.
Okay, try it in, do you have Chrome
Yeah.
or Firefox?
Yeah.
Jalen, what were you using, Safari?
Yeah.
Try it in Chrome or Firefox and see if that's any different. How many Macs do I have in here? You guys had the same problem, right? Okay, do you guys have Chrome or Firefox? Hoping that's the problem. Oh, you got to get all the way to the portal. I suppose you don't have that, huh? I think it's, is it blackboard.vcsu.edu? I don't even know what the...
It's bb.vcsu.edu.
bb.vcsu.edu. That worked, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yes! Whew. So Safari is our culprit. Now, I bet there's a setting in Safari that you can set with the cookies or whatever to make it work. So if you want to tinker with that, you can. Otherwise, you might just want to use a different browser.
How do we get there?
Yep, tutorials, quizzes. Scroll down to the practice one, the entry one. There it is. And it should pull it up. Yes. Okay. Now, is anybody still having issues? How's the quiz going? Are we getting 5 out of 5? This one counts for a grade, by the way. This will be your first grade. So will your syllabus quiz, which I showed you earlier. So by the time you're done today, you'll have a 5-point quiz and a 6-point quiz already finished, okay? That work for you, Jalen? All right, good. And yours worked too back here. Good. Now, as you go through these quizzes, you might see that some of them will come with like a little link to watch a video. Like, oh, I can't remember how to do that. There's a little tutorial video. Every once in a while, I think after 2 attempts, you can click on answer key and it'll show you the answer. But then you've exhausted all of your tries on that question, so you got to generate a new question and do it again. You can't just go straight to the answer key, enter it, and move on. Does that make sense? I know. There's a lot of settings and a lot of stuff going on with it. And again, this My Open Math, this is new to me as of like a month ago. So I'm learning the system as I go too. But I know some of the homework tracker stuff, the online homework that comes with a lot of textbooks, costs you like $70-80 to register. And I'm like, oh, hey, this is free. My students are going to love me.
True, I spent so much money on textbooks so far.
I don't believe in buying textbooks. Not for math anyways. Everything out there in math is available for free. Just about everything. So none of my math students buy textbooks ever anymore. Anybody finish? Or are you still going? Still going? Now that I think about it, those of you that were having problems downloading that Geogebra, you might want to try it from another browser as well. I don't know if it was Safari that was causing issues or not.
Let's go.
Okay, in the interest of letting you go early, I'm just going to have you stop what you're doing. Now, I'm 99% sure of this. Is anybody like almost done with their quiz but not quite done? I'm almost positive, don't kill me if this screws you up though, try to get out of your quiz. Like it auto saves it. So try to go all the way back to like the Blackboard homepage. Like now you're out of your quiz, right? And now I want you to go back and click and go like you're going to finish the quiz again and see what happens. I'm hoping it lets you pick up right where you left off and it saved the answers that you already entered. Is that true? Yes. Everybody see how that works? The other thing I'm not sure about on the student end, did anybody finish the quiz? Not yet? I'm not 100% sure if there's actually a button at the end that says finish. I think what it does is it just keeps it open as though it's a work in progress until I hit the due date and shut you off. Does that make sense? So come October 4th at 10 a.m., when I'm shutting you off on all this, whatever score you had on all these quizzes that I'm going to give you, that's going to be your final score. Because what I'll do then is I'll shut the link off and you won't be able to go, keep working on your quiz. It'll say this quiz is past due. And then the grade that you have will just be the grade that you had the last time that you went in and worked on the quiz. Does that make sense? Okay, I think that's how that works, but again, we're going to learn together as we go through that. Okay, I just want to clean up a couple last things. I'm back on the Blackboard homepage. Going down the side, you see the class session recordings? Right now, it is blank. But what's going to happen is as soon as we're done here, I'm going to push stop on this recording on the iPad here, okay? And I will put a link beside Wednesday, August 28th. And at any point, you can just go and you can click on that link and you can watch class, okay? So what's it going to look like? If I go to here, here's some other class recordings that I've had before. So it just kind of opens up like this. And notice it's 2 screens.
Okay, for those of you watching the video, we are currently...
There's the camera that follows me, and there's the camera that captures my whatever's on my computer. Okay? And you can see the audio's coming through my speaker, right? So if you want to maximize it, if you don't want to see me, you can just look at the screen, right? If you want to just look at me, you can do that. That's from last semester. And here's a nice handy dandy tool. Down here it'll say 1x, one time. If you want to watch it, so if it's a 45-minute video and you want to watch it in 22 and a half minutes, you just go 2 times. And then it'll start talking like this, and then it'll blah, 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 right? So you can watch it faster if you want, or 1.5 times, or 1.25 times. So that's basically what it's going to look like when you click to watch a class. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, the other thing is those recordings, I do not have the ability to have the closed captioning on there. So if you require closed captioning because you're hard of hearing, okay, I put that under this link. It's a YouTube link, but you don't get the screen capture with it. You just get the video of me. So if you had 2 screens, you could have the one on one screen and the YouTube on the other screen, and that'll have the closed captioning on the bottom, just so you know. If you have issues with closed captioning or you're watching the video and you can't hear it, come talk to me and we'll figure something out. Geogebra help. It's just a document that you can look up stuff on Geogebra. There's a little video I put on here for Geogebra. We're going to practice the Geogebra as we go. Okay, so that's just there for you. And then finally, student support policies. This is just VCSU policies. One of the policies in there will be on academic integrity and plagiarism. Not to scare you, but I can tell you that I bust somebody for academic integrity every single semester. I give you a project and you turn in somebody else's project. Okay, I'm on to you. Okay, have academic integrity. I hate filling out that form. It's like the worst thing we can do as teachers is busting somebody for cheating. Okay, so you can read that policy on your own. These are just, this link should appear in every one of your Blackboard courses. So if you're curious about different VCSU policies and stuff, you can read them there. Okay, I told you that was a lot. Before we leave, I'd like you to have 2 things done by the time you come back Friday. One is that syllabus quiz on Blackboard. Remember, you only get 1 crack at that one. Okay? The other one is that math quiz that you were working on, that practice entry one. I'd like you to finish it so that I can see how it looks in the grade book, and because I have to see what it looks like on my end after you finish a quiz too, so I have to practice a little bit before Friday. So those are your only 2 assignments. The other one would be if you didn't get that Geogebra downloaded properly, let's try to have that done prior to Friday as well. And that's it. Don't go in and start working on your quizzes yet. Your Section 1.1 quiz, Section 1.2 quiz, because I might make some minor adjustments and changes to those quizzes. So if you're a student that really wants to work ahead, I'm going to start on all my quizzes, hold off on that until at least Friday. Okay? All right. Normally I won't be doing so much talking in class. Who's got comments or questions about anything thus far? Going once.
Yeah.
Going twice.
How do you undo like one little thing.
Are you in what? Are you in that practice quiz?
The graph.
Yeah.
Yeah, to clear it all, just.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the quiz that you're talking about. What number is it?
Question 5.
Question 5. So I'm going to go continue assessment. I'm going to go to question 5. Does it say to graph something? Yeah. There's a clear all. There is also, oh, you just want to clear one thing without clearing everything? Did anybody figure that one out yet? Then I'm not sure. You might have to start over. I can tell you, however, that this type of question, primarily we won't have a lot of that type of stuff on these quizzes, because a lot of the graphing stuff that we're going to do with that Geogebra software as opposed to on here. But every once in a while you might run into that. So I guess the answer right now is you probably can't. So if I did like a line like that, and another thing like this, and another dot like this, I think, can you hover over? No. I thought there was a way to clear all. Anybody got any ideas here? Let's see, if I go to the line. Yeah, but I can't highlight it. That's the problem, right? Because there's no select tool. It's only there's no pointer tool to select anything. I thought there was a way to do this. You can move it.
Can you do Control Undo on your computer?
Yeah, like Control Z.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that works either. I'll have to look into that one. I don't know if there's a way to do it right now. Good question, though. Any other questions? Going once? Going twice? Okay. I will see everybody on Friday.